overthinking. I think we need more thinking.
Kevin Durant made sure that it was going to sting, that loss was. Kevin Durant and Brucey B both got into it heavily. It got very chippy between those two. And then you had that stupid dance that Kevin Durant did, rubbing it in all of Nuggets Nation's faces. And tonight, he didn't have anything to really say.
Let's try to get healthy. Let's stay together. And if we can do that, we put ourselves in a good situation.
And over the shoulder, no looker.
How's it going, everyone, and welcome. I'm CS Chandler, here for another take of Nuggets basketball. We're back, everyone. We are back. I know that many of you have probably been very impatient with the Nuggets. I know there's been a lot of difficult games that have to try to get through, but tonight the Nuggets got back. After a very brutal loss against the Knicks, and then a very much bitter loss against OKC in a game that you should have won, the Nuggets, now back home for one game, face the conference rival of the Houston Rockets. Now, going into this game, the Nuggets are still up by 1 on the Rockets, so this was a chance for the Rockets to tie the series. And with them higher in the standings right now, the stakes for this game were elevated. And this was a very needed win for the Nuggets. So going into it, Peyton Watson still remains out. There's hope that he could return next week. Hopefully, he can come back, and when he does come back, he'll get back healthy. But Adelman has already warned everyone that he's going to look rough. So for all you naysayers on Peyton Watson, you haters, just chill. Give him a couple of games. I would give him a week to settle in. And if he does before that, phenomenal. But if not, give him a week. Same thing with Aaron Gordon. Aaron Gordon, he had an amazing first start, right? And then, was it the first start? No, it was the first start was all right. It was the second game. It was the game in OKC where he was really lit in that first quarter, and then OKC just clamped down on him and wasn't able to do anything. So tonight, he still had a good game, but in a way that the stats just don't show. And so as I said, Peyton Watson was out. Jamal Murray and Cam Johnson were both listed as questionable. Now, there was a moment in the OKC game where apparently Cam Johnson got back spasms and he was questionable to return. But then there was another moment where he went back into the tunnel and he was holding his hand. So I'm kind of confused on what exactly he was dealing with. But he did play. So the starting lineup for the Nuggets tonight was Jamal Murray, Christian Braun, Cam Johnson, Aaron Gordon, and Jokic. So we got our starting 5 again. This is the third time now we've gotten our starting 5 back since November 12th. So, they're remembering how to play with each other now. The Nuggets were wearing their Mile High City Edition jerseys. Those blue ones with the Mile High circle around them. And then Houston was wearing their white jerseys, and the Nuggets spanked them Rockets. Let's go. 129-93 is your final score. Let's go Nuggets. I don't know if y'all remember the last game against the Rockets. I do, because it was one of the most frustrating losses that the Nuggets had, because one of the main thing was that Kevin Durant made sure that it was going to sting, that loss was. Kevin Durant and Brucey B both got into it heavily. It got very chippy between those two. And Brucey B said that there's some things that one man shouldn't say to another man. And so I was looking for a big bounce back from Brucey B in this game. And then you had that stupid dance that Kevin Durant did. acting like a fool in Ball Arena, rubbing it in all of Nuggets Nation's faces. And tonight, he didn't have anything to really say. In fact, he didn't have any really points to add. Nuggets clamped down on him so much that he only made 11 points. A measly 11 points for that troll. Let's go Nuggets. Love it. Can't stand Kevin Durant. And that's what you get. I love it. So, what happened in this game really? I've told you the ending, but let's go backtrack, and let's kind of walk through this game. What happened in the first quarter? Well, the Rockets actually controlled the tip. And the interesting thing here real quick is that this was an ESPN game. The game right before this was the Cavaliers versus the Magic, the Orlando Magic. They were in Orlando. And so that was the first game. And the thing I hate about ESPN, they have like 3 or 4 channels that they can easily put one of their other games on, and yet they choose to continue to play one game without anyone knowing what's going on. And so while you were getting not even OT, there wasn't an OT in this game with the Cavs and Magic. It was just a regular game, and yet it went overtime. And so the Nuggets started playing, and we missed the first 2 minutes of this game. I had to actually look through the play-by-play to figure out what actually happened. So the Rockets controlled the tip, and Sengun with a driving layup gets the first bucket of the game. Jokic then with a turnaround fadeaway gets the Nuggets on the board for 2, and then the Nuggets offense starts off very rocky. They get a really rocky start to this game as the Rockets build a quick 5-point lead early on. And then Cam starts to light up, and he sinks a much-needed 3, ties the game at 7. Then Yoke finds Murray and for the backdoor cut for the jam. Nuggets then take a 2-point lead, and then Houston challenges a foul call on Ahmed Thompson. This is all during the break, so we don't even see what's going on. I didn't even know that they were challenging it until we came back. I thought it was just a timeout that was taken. We find out that it was a challenge that was actually called from Houston. They win that challenge. They get the ball. They go up. They cut the lead down to 2 from that the Nuggets had built. It was a 4-point lead at that point. And then Tim Hardaway Jr. checks in, and immediately he sinks a 3. Nuggets go back up by 5. I'm going to say it again. I am so glad that Tim Hardaway Jr. is on the Nuggets. I don't know where the bench would be without him. He is such a godsend for this Nuggets bench. The Nuggets outscored the Rockets 24-20 in that first quarter. Second quarter, the Nuggets start off with a lineup of Jamal, Spencer Jones, Big Val, Tim Hardaway Jr., and Brucey B, as Big Val with a fadeaway gets the first bucket of the quarter. Now, the first start of this quarter was actually pretty rocky for the Nuggets, and it looked like another bad game for Big Val. But this is a team that you typically would like to play Big Val in because he plays actually fairly well against the Rockets. And so, but at first, in this first stint of the second quarter, it wasn't looking like that. Nuggets' poor defense and sloppy ball handling give up the lead as Sengun ties the game at 31. Yoke then checks back in at the 6:26 mark. And then Okogie gets the Rockets their first lead since early on in the first quarter. Short-lived, however, because Yoke to CB for the driving jam gets Nuggets a lead by 1. And then Tim Hardaway Jr. on the rebound slings it to Cam Johnson on the fast break for the layup, extends that lead to 3. Then we get back-to-back amazing Jokic steals and then assists to CB for the jam and for the layup, gets the Nuggets first to 50. Those 2 plays were just incredible. The way that Jokic got his hand in, managed to swipe the ball, grab it, and then heave it down to CB, down court for 1, and then another one, slings it down a little bit further ahead of him. I mean, to see the Jokic and CB connection once again that we have been missing was like therapy. It was very much needed. And then CB hits a near buzzer beater. Like, I wouldn't call it an actual buzzer beater because there was still like a couple of seconds left. I think it was like 2 seconds, 1 second, something like that left on the clock. But it was a near buzzer beater. He hits the dagger buzzer beater, essentially 3 for that quarter. Nuggets outscored the Rockets 29-27 in that quarter and take a 53-47 lead into the half. Third quarter, the Nuggets start off with the starters as CB gets fouled, but they don't give him the shooting foul. And that was a little bit unusual because he was definitely in the shooting motion. He should have gotten that shooting foul, and yet they didn't give him. So it was on the inbound. CB to Yoke for the floater, gets the first bucket of the quarters. Like, you're not going to send me to the line? All right, I'm going to send it to Yoke, and he's going to put it up. So we're going to get that 2 points anyways. Eastman then gets his hand up through the net on a Jamal layup, and refs do not call a goaltend. I thought that was crazy. Like, he would legitimately rocked the rim. He put his hand up through that net. You're not supposed to do that. That's a goaltend. Whether or not that ball was going to go in or not, that's a goaltend. That should have easily been a bucket there. But we blew them out, so I'm not going to harp on it too much. Just do better, refs. Do better. Nuggets then give up back-to-back buckets as the lead gets cut to 4. There was a very sloppy moment there. It was very short-lived because then the Nuggets got it right back on the track. Cam then starts heating up. He gets some steals and he makes some threes that gets the lead back up to double digits. Then Yoke with a triple-double off of a rebound leads to a second back-to-back 3 from CB, gets the lead to 19. Nuggets then just coming alive. In the third, ending the quarter with Spencer getting another steal. And it was crazy because he was able to keep it in bounds. Like, it almost looked like it was going to go out of bounds. He manages to keep it in bounds in the fast break and slings it down court to Brucey, who then and it was a really weird or an awesome play because he doesn't really sling it down court. He actually slings it around the defender. So he actually goes at the defender and then goes it around him. Almost very Jokic-like, I would say. That finds Brucey B. He gets the jam, followed by a made 3 by Tim Hardaway Jr. Nuggets then outscore the Rockets 40-22. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is where the Rockets lost this game. It was in the third quarter. Love it. KD shut up very quickly. It was so fun to see him acting like he didn't do a stupid little dance in Ball Arena last time he was there. He was really trying not to have anyone look at him. He was so ashamed, and I loved it. Like, eat that, KD. Fourth quarter, Nuggets start off with a lineup of Big Val, Jamal Murray, Brucey B, Tim Hardaway Jr., Spencer Jones as Big Val with the rebound on one end, but then gives it up on the other end, sends Okogie to the line, who misses both free throws. That's a big story for the Rockets, at least, is that they were struggling to make buckets tonight, struggling to make free throws tonight, and then they were also struggling to make threes tonight. The Nuggets, if you remember the last couple of games, Shepherd, who is pretty much a trash player, manages to have an all-star breakout game against the Nuggets every single time. Not tonight. Not tonight. He struggled to even get 9 points tonight. And so Nuggets definitely took care of him. They took care of KD. I think their best player tonight was Amin Thompson, who got 16. Yeah. So great defense from the Nuggets. That's great. So he misses both free throws, and then Spencer Jones to Tim Hardaway Jr. for the 3 gets the first bucket of the quarter. Then Jamal with a jumper gets the Nuggets first to 100. Jamal had a great night tonight as well. I mean, he's just been having an all breakout season overall. But tonight he had another great game, shooting 52%, got racked up 30 points. Let's go, Blue Arrow. Big Val then with a putback gets the Nuggets lead to 30. Nuggets then outscore the Rockets 36-24 and gives them the worst loss of their season. 129-93, a munder. Not only did you win the game, you destroyed them, and then you got a munder, and then you got the tiebreaker, which is huge right now. If you don't know what's going on in the standings, you have, before this game, you had Rockets, Lakers, Timberwolves all tied. Now you have the Rockets down, and then you have the Rockets were up 1. That was what happened. The Rockets were up 1 on the Lakers. The Lakers and Timberwolves were tied, but now because of this, now the Rockets, Lakers, and Timberwolves are tied. But there's more because a lot happened tonight. It's actually a little bit of why I waited so long to put up this episode here, because we also had ourselves a game between Minnesota and the Clippers tonight, where the Clippers spanked the Minnesota Timberwolves tonight. They blew the doors off of them, and they gave them their 3rd loss in a row. So because of that, if you remember, Nuggets already have the tiebreaker on the Timberwolves. Timberwolves only beat us 1 time. So 3-1, they have that tiebreaker. They lost. We were sitting a half game behind them. Now we are tied with them. Because we got that tiebreaker, we now go up to the 5th seed. We are now a half game behind Houston and LA. This is where every game matters. It like, you can't drop a game, otherwise you're going to be into the play-in within just like a couple of games. It's super tight now, so every game matters. It doesn't really matter so much for the Spurs and the OKC. Like, they're fine. They're going to be 1 seed and 2 seed. Just a matter of between them. They're fighting over that really right now, and hopefully the Spurs can drop a couple, because it would be nice if one of us was able to challenge them for the 2nd seed. I don't see it. We have to win like 8 games or something like that. This is not going to happen. Spurs are just too good this season. They'll walk away with the 2nd seed. 1 seed will be the OKC, and it's just a dogfight for that 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th seed right now, with a little bit of a wild card of the Suns. The Suns really are the wild card tonight, or this season right now. So, this was a great win. And it took a while for the Nuggets to catch their fire after the All-Star break. And if you expected excellence right away, you were probably frustratingly disappointed. CB didn't look like himself, nor Cam. Yoke has been struggling, and until recently, we haven't had AG. After 2 rough losses, 1 to the Knicks at home and 1 to OKC in a game Nuggets should have won, with a chance to get a tiebreaker over a conference rival, the Nuggets have finally started to show up in a game against a good opponent, outscoring the Rockets in every quarter and then crushing them in the second half. The Nuggets do indeed remember the last time Houston was in Denver, and this was the perfect way to respond back. KD, don't forget to take that L on the way out. Let me know in the comments what you think, but man, I am so happy that they got this win. Like, yes, I would have absolutely loved for the Nuggets to win against OKC at least once, because I will definitely think that they're going to win the last game against them, our very last game, or our very last home game of the season. I guarantee the Nuggets are going to win that one, because I guarantee OKC's not going to care about that game. They're going to drop that game just because they are going to rest a bunch of their guys. And I hate that. I want to beat them when they're at their best, like we almost did when we went into overtime against them. And then when we almost beat them last on Monday. Say what you will, yeah, they had players out, but you still had SGA in there. And when you have SGA in that lineup, you are still getting their best. It's not a defunct team until you have their all of their starters out, and then a good majority of their second string. Because then the rest, then you can have a battle or whatever. But that's the kind of team I want to beat right now. So I know that we're going to beat them. I just wish that we had beat them that last game on Monday. And then the Knicks, as much as I do appreciate the Knicks, I know if you watch my show, you know that they're my second favorite team. So it stings from a Nuggets perspective that they won. And then as a Knicks fan, I'm conflicted when that. But overall, my Nuggets fandom does outshine my Knicks fandom. And the Knicks have just dominated the Nuggets for too long recently. And so that to me is the frustrating part of that. Like I would have liked them to have at least gone 1-1 with the Knicks this season, and to get your ass kicked by 40 points was a really bummer loss. It was just a very frustrating loss. And so you had two very frustrating losses. The Knicks game was that last home game that the Nuggets had. So to now, this is technically a bounce back game at home. This is the perfect way you respond back. Beating your opponent by 36 points. And really, we would have won by 39 exactly, the same amount that the Knicks defeated us by if they didn't succeed a three from Okogie at the very last minute or so of play. But still, I mean, 36 points, that's a phenomenal win against a decent team. I mean, you can't say that they're a bum team, the Rockets. They're not a bum team. They're in the top 6. Any team in the top 6 is a decent team. They're all the ones that are going to be in the main playoffs, right? So I just don't think that they have it. And I know that they're going to complain that they lost Steven Adams, which did take away a lot of their aggressiveness on the defense, a lot of their rim protection. But then they're going to also complain that, oh, well, we don't have Van Fleet. Okay, but you had all season to come up with a backup point guard, and you dropped that. So you can't really blame anyone but yourselves for that. And then you went and you got Kevin Durant, who I will stand on that hill saying that Kevin Durant cannot win a championship without Steph Curry. He just can't. It's already been shown. The only 2 finals that he's ever won has been with Steph Curry, Draymond Green, and the Golden State Warriors. He has been unable to do that within the Nets, within the Suns, now with the Rockets. He's not going to be able to do it. And so, I'm sure he's frustrated with that. I'm sure he is, but at the same time, and maybe that's also why it makes him a troll. Maybe he's a troll because he is so frustrated with his life that he knows that he is only good because of Steph Curry. Who knows? But that's just my take, because I can't stand that dude. But still, I will give the tip of the hat to Houston because they are a good team, and that by itself means this win means more. It would have been nice to have gotten that win against the Knicks and OKC because they are also amazing teams, but we're over that now. So Stat-wise, we had Cam Johnson played 24 minutes tonight, racked up 17 points, 2 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals, 3 blocks, 6 for 9 from field. I want to say that again. 6 for 9 from field, 66%. Everyone's been complaining about Cam Johnson. I see it all over social media. I see it always in the DNVR chat. Yes, he has had a very frustrating season. But then at the same time, that frustration only comes at the offense. And everyone is so focused on the offense that they forget how good Cam Johnson is with the defense. He has played some amazing defense where in a team that just has not really pushed hard for defense. If you remember at the beginning of the season, Adelman said that they were more interested in offense and building their offense than they were in their defense. So they have been sticking to that gun. And offense can only go so far. When the offense goes cold and you don't have good defense, you put yourself in a hole. And that's kind of, in some of these bad games that they lost, that's kind of what happened. They lost the defense, or they lost their offense went cold, and then they didn't really have much defense to begin with. So now you're left with this. So, Cam Johnson, for this specific game, he finally, and this isn't the first game that he's been really good at, remember. There was a few others as well. And he's also dealing with stuff too. And so the thing, for me at least, my biggest critique on Cam Johnson was the Eeyore energy, the hanging the head low and dropping the chin and feeling down about himself. That is the only criticism that I feel like he deserves to get, Do not put your head down when you are fighting for a championship. You got to keep your head up. And that is also, I don't know if maybe one of his teammates talked to him, maybe Yoke talked to him or Jamal or whoever, but someone talked to him. He looked way more confident tonight. And it shows 66% is awesome. And then he shot 3 for 5 from 3, a 60% from 3. He only missed 2 shots. That's awesome. Out of 5? Let's go, Cam. Come on now. Show me something. 2 for 2 in free throws, 0 turnovers. I cannot tell you how much I love. It's like music to my ears to hear 0 turnovers from any of the Nuggets players. But Cam Johnson, most of all, has been very good at not turning over the ball. I don't think that he's had a terrible turnover game, even when he has been bad overall in the game itself. At least he didn't turn over the ball. And that's still something, I feel like. 1 personal foul. He was a plus 23. Then we had Aaron Gordon. Now remember what I said before. Aaron Gordon's stats are not going to show here the amount of impact that he had on the game. So he played 22 minutes tonight. He made 0 points. It's okay. It's okay. Don't freak out, everyone. Aaron Gordon had 0 points in 22 minutes. That is okay, because he also got 4 rebounds. He got 1 assist. He had 1 block. But man, was he defensive. He was so defensive. On a lot of the runs that the Nuggets had tonight, it was off of the defense that he created. So again, this is just one of those times where you just don't see the impact within the stats. But Aaron Gordon was great. He did miss all of his shots. So he shot 0 for 3 from field, 0 for 2 from 2. He didn't go to the line, but he also didn't have any turnovers. Again, music to my ears. Love it. 0 personal fouls as well. He was a plus 17. If he was a terrible player on of the night, he wouldn't have had such an impact. And I think the one thing there you can kind of see is that the plus minus for him did not drop below double figures there. 17. That's I'll take that. That's good. Let's go, Mr. Nugget. Nikola Jokic, man, he had a modest triple double, but he damn near had a quadruple double, and not with turnovers tonight. I was so hoping that he was going to make it. He had 5 steals in the first half of the game. Let's go, Yoke. 5 steals in the first half. I was hoping so much that he would get 5 more in the second half. He only played the third quarter, and then they rested him, which I get. He played 30 minutes tonight. He racked up 16 points, 12 rebounds, 13 assists. Again, 5 steals. Don't tell me Jokic doesn't play defense. 5 steals, man. Steals is defense. Don't tell me it's not. It's defense. That and blocks, which he also got a block. He was shooting 6 for 12 from field, so 50% there. He missed both of his 3-point shots that he tried to make, and he missed 1 free throw. So he shot 4 for 5 from free throws. He had 5 turnovers as well. So you could also say he was I don't know what you would call what is that, the quintuple or whatever, the 5? Man. But still, he had 5 turnovers, which we kind of figured that he's going to be the leading turnover culprit of the Nuggets. So, but he also had 2 personal fouls, and yet he was the highest plus minus of any Nugget tonight with 27, a plus 27. Christian Braun played 26 minutes tonight. He made 19 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 steal. He was shooting 8 for 10 from field, 3 for 4 from 3. He didn't go to the line at all. He didn't have any turnovers, and he didn't have any personal fouls. He was a plus 20. This was the game that I think CB himself needed to have to increase his confidence level. And I don't know if it's maybe just those jerseys that really spark something in him, but whenever he wears the Mile High jerseys, he just has a very good night. And it shows right here, 19 points. I mean, 8 for 10 and then 3 for 4. When Christian Braun starts making threes, the rest of the league needs to be worried. Like that's danger right there. Him and Cam Johnson making their threes. Let's go. Y'all are not ready for this. The best starting five. I will say it again, the best starting five. And it's just a shame that they haven't been able to play most of the season together. Had they played most of the season, I guarantee you the Spurs would be in the 3rd seed and the Nuggets would be battling OKC for that 1 seed. It's just a shame that the fate went the way it did, and here we are now, so it's no business talking about it again, but still, like, the best starting five. It always has been with Jokic, you know. He makes everyone better, and it shows. So Christian Braun, man, and he looked good too. He looked fit. He looked springy, as they say, you know. And he's getting better. He's going to have that more explosive impact that he normally has, especially on the fast break. But it's getting there. And you have to look at who he's defending too. So Adelman said this too in his press conference. You have to look at who he's defending. He's defending world-class all-star Hall of Famers, possible future Hall of Famers. I mean, he's had a very good defensive, and that's one of the things I think that CB doesn't get credit enough. Everyone starts bagging on him for not having enough points or having a sloppy turnover here and there. He never racks up a ton of turnovers, but yet he gets mauled by people online for 1 or 2 turnovers. And yet, he is one of the Nuggets' best defenders. So you got Cam Johnson, one of the best defenders, AG, one of the best defenders, CB, one of the best defenders. And then you also have Spencer Jones and Peyton Watson, who round out our defensive plays here. Brucey B can play some defending. You know, he can get himself his hand in the cookie jar and grab some stuff without getting seen. And Zeke Nnaji, I know, sucks at the offense. But man, does he know how to defend. And so I am hoping that Zeke Nnaji sees more minutes tomorrow against the Spurs, because I don't think that the Nuggets should play Aaron Gordon tomorrow. You can't chance it. You need him healthy for the playoffs. It's going to suck, but you can't play him tomorrow. You just can't. You can't risk it. No more back-to-backs for AG. Sorry, no more back-to-backs. Not even if it was like the Wizards. You can't do it. So Zeke is going to have to play tomorrow. There's no question about it. And then we get to Blue Arrow, who had yet another phenomenal game. He played the most amount of minutes of any Nugget tonight with 31 minutes. He made the most amount of points of any Nugget tonight with 30 points. Let's go, Blue Arrow. 2 rebounds, 4 assists, 1 steal. He was shooting 11 for 21 from field, 52%, 3 for 4 from 3, 75% there, 5 for 6 from free throw. He missed 1 free throw, which again was like, wait, what? How does Jamal miss a free throw? But then also I think KD missed a free throw too today. So, you know, it happens. 5 for 6 from free throw, so 83% there. He had 1 turnover, but 0 personal fouls, and was a plus 25. So the second biggest plus minus of any Nugget tonight. Man, I just don't think that Jamal Murray is praised enough. I really don't. The season that he has had, typically you would say that the Nuggets are where they are because of Jokic. I don't think you can say that this season. I honestly don't. I know Jokic will continue to be the sun that the Nuggets play around, but Jamal Murray has carried this team the entire season, especially when all the 4 other starters were out with injury. Murray was still leading this team. And so you got to give him credit where credit is due. Jamal Murray has been phenomenal. Blue Arrow, man. I'm so glad he's a Nugget. I want him and Jokic to remain Nuggets for life. Same thing with Aaron Gordon. I want him to retire. And then I would even say I would want Christian Braun to retire as a Nugget. If we can keep him, I would love that. And Peyton Watson. And Brucey B. You know, heck, let's just keep all of them. This is our squad until they retire. But the bench-wise, let's just talk real quick about Tim Hardaway Jr., who played 21 minutes tonight. He had 14 points off the bench. Of course he did, because he's Tim Hardaway Jr. 3 rebounds, 1 assist. He was shooting 5 for 9 from field, 4 for 6 from 3. He didn't go to the line, but he did have 1 turnover, unfortunately, and it was a bad turnover too, I will admit. But he also racked up 3 personal fouls. One of them was actually a great foul. He fouled Sengun, and then Sengun went to the line, missed both free throws. Phenomenal foul to me. Like, yeah, let's do it, because he would have made the bucket had he not fouled him. So glad that he fouled him there. He was a plus 15. And then, let's really quick just dive in for Brucey B, because, again, like I said before, I was really hoping for a big game from Brucey B. He didn't have the big offensive game that I was really hoping that he would have. I was hoping that he would break out with like 20-plus points tonight just to stick it to KD. He only played 19 minutes tonight, but he did have some really key moments. He made 7 points off the bench. He had 1 rebound, 2 assists. He shot 2 for 5 from field, but he made 1 of 3 from 3. And one of those threes, that 1 3 that he made, was a much needed 3. It was it essentially extended the Nuggets past the 30-point mark. And so then you had, he went to the line, and he actually missed 2 free throws, but he didn't make 2 others. So he was 2 for 4 there, and he had 1 turnover, 1 personal foul. He was a plus 17. And then I wanted to talk about Valanciunas, Big Val. So Big Val, he played 11 minutes tonight, and in his 11 minutes, he racked up 12 points. So that first little stint in the second quarter, the beginning part, it was very much a reflection of the last couple of games that we've seen. But now we saw, with a little bit added more time, he was able to get more into the groove of things, got back into his spot. There's a moment where he got called for a foul, and you could hear him so loud saying, "What?" Because I felt it too, and he's getting frustrated. I think he's definitely getting frustrated, but it was good to see him kind of hunker down here. Got his 12 points off the bench, 5 rebounds. That's better than less than 5. I wish that was more. I wish he was getting us, double-digit rebounds, but hopefully he'll get back into the flow of things there. He also had 3 assists. A little bit of we saw that great 2-man action with him and Jamal again a little bit, and I liked seeing that. And then he didn't actually miss a single bucket tonight. He shot 6 for 6 from field, so 100% for Big Val. He didn't shoot any threes. He didn't shoot any free throws. He didn't have any turnovers tonight. And he had 4 personal fouls. He was a plus 7. But right there, just that. And then there are things that the players do that don't show up on the stats. And that definitely is for Val here as well. But even with the stats-wise there, that is a much better game for Big Val than the previous games. So I'm loving that. Like, let's go Big Val. Come on now. And so then you also had Jalen Pickett have some minutes. He got a 3, and the garbage minutes in this game, I think, were like 5 minutes long. It was a hefty garbage minute time, and it was a lot of just like chucking up bricks for the good part of it. Though Julian Strawther did get in. He got himself 2 3-pointers and got himself 6 points. And I wish that Adelman would play Julian Strawther more. I really do. I wish he would go to his go-to backup, either small forward or shooting guard. I think that he needs to play more. He's shown that has some really good games lately. And so I think that you keep him going, he's going to continue to shoot well. I think it's when you take a player off from a very fire-heavy couple of games, he starts to go cold. And I think you're seeing a little bit of that now with Julian Strawther, but he's still, in the minutes that he's having very productive minutes still. 7 minutes, racked up 6 points. You keep on playing him longer, he's going to rack up more points. So I would like to see David Adelman play him more. But let's go to the overall stats here. So overall stats, we had 42 rebounds to the Rockets' 44. Now, for the longest time, for the first 3 quarters, maybe 3.5, like into the fourth quarter a little bit before they checked out the Nuggets main starters and everything, the Nuggets were leading the Rockets in rebounds. It wasn't until the garbage minutes started that the percentage went down for the Nuggets and the rebounds went down for the Nuggets. So that is what happened here. So the Rockets were able to out-rebound us just based off of the garbage minutes. And that's actually where they chipped down a little bit of the lead, because that lead was actually, I think, up to 40 at one point. So they got 44 rebounds. We got 42. We had 36 assists. They had 25. Good God. We really out-assisted them. And then we had 12 steals to their 7. 12 steals. Let's go. We had 4 blocks to their 6. We shot 55% from field. They shot 43. We shot 53 from... where is that? 53 from 3. They shot 12%. 12% from 3. They only made 4 threes tonight, and they put up 33. That's how bad their offense was tonight. And then we also had... we shot 72% from the free throw line. Still needs to be better, to be honest. We've got to be better at that. We should be shooting in the 80s, if not in the 90s. But at least we outdid them, because they only made 5 free throws out of 14. So they were shooting 35%. And then we had... Oh, don't go away on me now. We had 9 turnovers to their 15. 15 personal fouls to their 18. Just an overall good win, you know. It really does feel really nice when you get these kind of wins for the Nuggets. It's really nice, you know. So now we are in the 5th seed, and that will hold as long as we win tomorrow and we get some more space between us and Minnesota. If we win tomorrow, well, now it really needs to be that we win and the Rockets and Lakers lose, and that way we can go up. But if we win and the Rockets-Lakers keep on winning, then we're going to stay in the 5th seed, and then we'll end up playing the Rockets in the first round. Hopefully, we can get up to the 3rd seed, and if we do, there's a chance that we may end up actually facing the Timberwolves in the first round. I mean, I honestly feel like the Nuggets can beat any team in the league right now, and I'm no longer really worried taking on the Timberwolves anymore. You know, this season has really shown that they have gone over that hump, and they've been able to battle back against them. Now, one thing that Wind of DNVR said tonight, he had a really big hot take that I kind of blew my mind. I hadn't really thought about it, but he thinks that if the season keeps on going the way it does for the Timberwolves, that Chris Finch, their head coach, might get Michael Malone, because if you remember last season, Michael Malone got fired with 3 games left in the season. He kind of foresees them possibly firing Chris Finch at the end of the season if the season keeps on going this way. And I kind of see it. Though I would love, I have a lot of respect for Chris Finch now. Because if you really look at the full season of NBA, it wasn't until he got ejected from that game against OKC that the officiating really started to change for OKC, and they started to lose more of the whistle. It was really due to Chris Finch. And so, I mean, even there, I have more respect for Chris Finch after this season. I don't hate the Timberwolves as much anymore. It feels like it's just more of like a respectful rivalry, not so much as like a bitter or, distasteful rivalry. Because now that is towards OKC. I cannot stand OKC. I cannot stand Mark Dagnott. I cannot stand any of those players. There's not a single player except for Topic that I have respect for on that team. So, I even I've really thought through this, and I think that I actually like the Lakers more than I like OKC, which is just crazy because I would love nothing but the Lakers' demise. But when they face OKC, I'm rooting for the Lakers. I mean, it's just crazy the way that sports works sometimes, Sometimes you find yourself rooting for your opponent, your enemy, because your enemy's enemy is also your enemy, a bigger enemy. But real quick, before we leave too, I wanted to talk real quick about the Avalanche. Avalanche have been having a phenomenal season. For anyone who doesn't know hockey, the Colorado Avalanche is our hockey team, and they are the 1 seed of the league, not just in their conference, not just in their division. They are the 1 seed overall. They are the OKC of the NHL without the dirty playing and the favorable whistle. They have been playing ethical hockey, winning ethical hockey, and it's just been really fun to watch and to see them outshine the entire league. And I really truly believe that this is the season for the Avalanche to win the Stanley Cup. But last night they faced the Edmonton Oilers. Now, if you don't know much about hockey, within the NBA you have the battle between like the Embiid fans and the Giannis fans, or the SGA fans, or the Luka fans against Jokic fans. And it's always like, Jokic is the best player. No, he's not. It's SGA, whatever. So we'll go with that right now because that's the current argument, is Jokic and SGA. In the hockey world, the argument is McDavid, who plays on the Oilers, and McKinnon, who plays on the Avalanche. So you had this matchup. It was a national televised game. It was on TNT or HBO if you didn't get regular television. My light just went out. That's my cue to head out here soon. So you had this game in Denver. It was in Ball Arena, and it was a really good game. It was just a really evened game that you were watching between two really good teams. And then there was a moment in the second period, because hockey only has 3 periods. They're like 20 minutes each, and they have 3 periods, and then they have like a 20-minute or so intermission in between each of those periods. And so right before the end of the second period, just like a perfect storm of collision happens down at the net, where there was the Avs had the puck, and they were on the breakaway to try to get the goal. McKinnon swoops in between Nick Nurse, or not Nick, that's the coach, against Nurse and Ingram. Ingram is their goalie. Nurse is their defenseman, and Nurse almost kind of falls as he's trying to defend the net. And as he's falling, he goes into McKinnon, bumps McKinnon, and then pushes him into Ingram. Ingram gets hit so hard, he starts bleeding from his head. And they review this, and they call a misconduct on Nathan McKinnon, and they eject him out of the game. I think that is the worst officiating outside of basketball that I have seen. That was just abhorrent. Like, I don't know how you actually look at that footage and see McKinnon being dirty at all and intentionally trying to hurt the goalie there. Because if it wasn't for Nurse, McKinnon would have missed him. McKinnon's one of the best skaters in the world, and he would have easily have missed him. But it was because of the trajectory that Nurse was pushing or was falling. His body weight obviously shifted McKinnon. McKinnon went right into the goalie, and McKinnon fell as well. But then they looked at it and they called a misconduct on McKinnon. Lo and behold, later on, the Avs actually lose that game. I don't think it was because they didn't have McKinnon, but I do think that a good majority of it was the frustration from that call. I think that definitely rattled them. And so, it for me, it's frustrating too, because I've always been kind of backing up the NHL, saying that they don't have these bad calls like the NBA officiating has. But now it's really difficult to find a single sport where there's not bad officiating. It's just really frustrating. Like, you want to have good games and not let the refs get involved. Like, you get involved only to call the proper calls, and yet these refs were just terrible. Really bad. So hopefully the Avalanche can bounce back with their next game. I think it's against the Kraken in Seattle. So hopefully they can get a bounce back win against them. But man, Edmonton Oilers lucked out there. I'll say that. But this is pretty much all I got for you on this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give it a like and subscribe. Share it to your friends and family. And if you feel gracious enough to give me a donation, I'd really appreciate it. The link for my PayPal is in the description below, as well as on the profile page. You can head over there and tack on a take or a comment about this team, any of the players, about this game, or if another game or another team, maybe some other players, whatever you want. Or if you want to talk about another sport, we can talk about that. Hockey, baseball's starting up now. Talk about that. Or if you want to talk about movies, I am a professor, film professor at a university. So if you want to talk about movies, we can talk about that. Or we can talk about music. I am a musician as well. So, but I would really appreciate that, and I'd shout you out in the next episode. But you've been listening to CS 105.1, where I talk about the Nuggets with good vibes. We'll catch you later.